What if one of the most dangerous animals on Earth could be hiding just a few feet away without you noticing? From deadly hunters to giant serpents that rule rivers and jungles, today's creatures are as fascinating as they are terrifying. Welcome to Flora. Some tarantulas attract attention with their size, but the Mexican fire-leg tarantula relies on color alone. Its legs grow with vivid orange-red tones that seem to burst into flame against its jet-black body. The contrast is so dramatic that the spider resembles a living ember slowly moving across the ground. In the wild, this stunning species inhabits Mexico's Pacific coast, where it builds shelters among rocks and roots. Despite its striking appearance, it leads a quiet and peaceful life, rarely leaving its refuge without a good reason. When threatened, it often uses the defensive hairs on its abdomen, releasing them like a floating cloud to discourage predators. Every movement highlights its spectacular coloration. This is one of those rare spiders that can rival even the most colorful tropical animals on Earth. If there are record holders for length among snakes, the reticulated python has long held a place on the podium. Some individuals exceed 23 feet, turning into living ropes of muscles instead of fibers. The name of this snake comes from its astonishing pattern. Gold, black, and silver lines form a complex net that looks like the work of a jeweler with endless patience. Living in the forests and swamps of Southeast Asia, the python is equally confident on land, in water, and even in trees. Young individuals often hunt among the branches, showing an agility that is hard to expect from such a long body. Interestingly, the reticulated python's skin shines with a rainbow-like sheen in the sun thanks to the special structure of its scales. This snake has no venom, but its muscles can hold prey with astonishing efficiency. When giant spiders enter the conversation, the salmon pink bird eater quickly reminds everyone why it earns its reputation. Its leg span can exceed the width of an average human hand, while its massive body looks as though someone enlarged a normal spider several times over. A subtle pinkish hue can be seen among its dark hairs, giving the species its distinctive name. Despite its intimidating size, its diet consists mainly of insects and other small invertebrates. This giant prefers ambush hunting, relying on surprise and a powerful strike. In the wilds of South America, it digs deep burrows where it escapes the heat and hides from larger predators. One of its most unusual traits is the ability to produce a hissing sound by rubbing parts of its body together. Hearing a spider hiss is not something most people ever expect. Standing before it feels less like meeting an invertebrate and more like encountering a creature from a science fiction movie. The indigo snake does not need bright patterns to make an impression. Its main decoration is a deep blue-black color that flashes with metallic violet and blue highlights in the sun. It is the largest native snake in North America, capable of growing to more than 8.2 feet. But its character is even more interesting. Unlike many other species, the indigo snake is known for its boldness. It actively hunts not only rodents and birds, but also other snakes, including venomous rattlesnakes. And yet, it has no venom of its own. Instead, it relies on strength, speed, and powerful jaws. It moves with surprising confidence and often explores large areas in search of food. In a world where many snakes prefer to hide, this species seems to have chosen the opposite strategy: not to hide from danger, but to become a source of concern for anything smaller and weaker. Here is one of the most impressive arboreal tarantulas on Earth. The Indian ornamental tarantula seems built from contrasts. A silvery gray body is decorated with intricate black patterns resembling ancient artwork, while bright yellow markings hidden beneath its legs become especially noticeable when the spider feels threatened. This species lives high in the trees of India's forests and relies on speed where others rely on strength. Its bursts of movement are so fast that the eye can struggle to keep up. Instead of burrows, it makes its home in tree hollows and cracks in the bark, turning them into secure shelters. Most of its hunting takes place at night, when the forest comes alive with the sounds of insects and small animals. Thanks to excellent vision and lightning-fast reflexes, it ranks among the most effective predators in its environment. It's as if nature set out to create the perfect combination of beauty, speed, and precision. The olive python looks as if its coloration was chosen to match the scorched Australian earth. A matte olive body, free of bright accents, yet perfectly blended into rocky creek beds and dry gorges. It is one of Australia's longest snakes, and at the same time, surprisingly calm in temperament. It rarely enters conflicts, preferring to demonstrate strength through size and confidence rather than aggression. It hunts mostly at night, relying on heat-sensitive receptors that almost draw a living picture of the surrounding world. Its prey ranges from birds to small mammals, and every strike is a short, almost theatrical scene where everything is decided in seconds. Interestingly, this python often chooses shelters near water, making it one of the few large terrestrial predators closely tied to river ecosystems. The name sounds almost playful, but appearances can be deceiving. The pumpkin patch tarantula earned its name from the bright orange markings scattered across its dark body, resembling glowing patches of color against the soil. This compact terrestrial species prefers to dig complex burrow systems where every tunnel plays a role in its survival strategy. Its behavior combines long periods of stillness with sudden bursts of activity. One moment, nothing happens, and the next, it launches a lightning-fast attack. In nature, it plays the role of a hidden regulator of insect populations, capturing anything that wanders too close to the entrance of its burrow. Interestingly, juveniles look quite different from adults, with their distinctive patterns developing gradually over time. While not naturally aggressive, this spider can be surprisingly persistent when defending its territory. Its life is a balance between deep secrecy and instant reaction. Many tarantulas are impressive, but the curly-haired tarantula stands out with every strand of its unusual coat. Its body is covered in long, curled hairs that make it look as though it has just walked through a very unusual windstorm. This shaggy appearance gives the spider an instantly recognizable look. Native to Central America, it prefers a quiet life in burrows and sheltered hideaways, where it spends most of its time. Despite its large size, the species is known for its relatively calm and even-tempered nature. Its movements are typically slow, deliberate, and free from unnecessary haste. Beneath that relaxed demeanor, however, is an experienced hunter capable of reacting quickly when prey appears. Light reflecting off its distinctive hairs often creates the illusion of soft fur. Among tarantulas, it is difficult to find another species that looks both so imposing and so uniquely charming at the same time. The Mangshan pit viper looks as if it were created specifically for a fantasy movie about lost jungles. Its huge, massive body is covered with a vivid pattern of green, yellow, and black blotches that resembles pieces of moss, lichen, and old stone all at once. This coloration makes it almost invisible in the humid forests of southern China. Scientists discovered this species relatively recently, and every new encounter with it still causes genuine interest. Its tail deserves special attention. The tip is pale in color and used as a lure. A young viper begins to move its tail slightly, imitating a worm, and curious prey approaches the hunter on its own. Large individuals can be impressively heavy and exceed 6 feet in length. It is also interesting that this rare snake is considered one of the most unusual pit vipers on the planet. The Trinidad chevron tarantula looks as though it was designed specifically for speed competitions among tree-dwelling spiders. Its long, slender legs are marked with dark chevron-shaped patterns that give the species its name. Found on the island of Trinidad, it spends its life among the trunks and branches of tropical forests. Unlike many of its heavier relatives, it rarely depends on brute strength. Its greatest advantage is lightning-fast reflexes. At times, it seems to vanish before you even notice it moving. Juveniles often display more contrasting colors that gradually change as they mature. This species makes extensive use of silk, constructing complex retreats inside tree hollows and bark crevices. By night, it becomes a silent hunter, exploring the forest canopy far above the reach of most ground-based predators. The horned desert viper looks like a living embodiment of the scorching sands of North Africa and the Middle East. Above its eyes rise the distinctive horn-like scales that make its silhouette instantly recognizable. But those horns are only the beginning of the story. Its true mastery shows in the way it moves. Across loose sand, the viper glides sideways, leaving behind mysterious parallel tracks. This method helps it sink less into the hot surface and conserve energy. Its coloration almost perfectly matches the surrounding desert, turning the reptile into part of the landscape. Sometimes only its eyes and the top of its head are visible above the sand. That is exactly how it waits for lizards, rodents, and other small animals. The wind can pass over it for hours without revealing its location. Despite the harsh conditions of its habitat, this species is superbly adapted to extreme temperatures and water scarcity. Looking at a snake like this, you begin to understand that the desert is not empty space, but a stage for incredible survival specialists. At first glance, the sunbeam snake seems fairly modest. No horns, unusual tails, or flashy patterns. But once a ray of light touches its scales, real magic begins. The surface of its body is covered with perfectly smooth scales that create a powerful rainbow sheen. Green, blue, violet, and golden tones flare with every movement, as if the snake were coated in liquid metal. This species lives in Southeast Asia and prefers to spend most of its time underground, hiding in loose soil or damp forest litter. Because of this lifestyle, its eyes are relatively small, but its body resembles a polished jewel. The sunbeam snake rarely shows aggression and usually tries to escape when threatened. Interestingly, many people who see a photo of this species for the first time are convinced the image has been edited. In reality, all of those effects are created entirely by the structure of its scales. The first time you see a giant huntsman spider, it feels as though an ordinary spider has been enlarged to impossible proportions. Its leg span ranks among the largest of any known spider on Earth, yet its size is only part of the story. Despite its intimidating appearance, this cave-dwelling species from Laos does not rely on webs for hunting. Instead, it actively roams walls and ceilings in search of prey. Its long legs extend almost horizontally, giving its movements a distinctive smoothness and allowing it to navigate difficult surfaces with ease. In the darkness of caves, where light is nearly non-existent, the spider depends on sensitivity and lightning-fast reactions. It resembles an experienced explorer of the underground world, capable of navigating places where most creatures would quickly lose their bearings. This true giant proves that enormous size and remarkable agility can coexist. The yellow anaconda is a hidden resident of South American swamps, with coloration made up of a complex pattern of yellow and dark blotches that perfectly blur its outline in muddy water. It is much smaller than its green relative, but it makes up for that by using coastal and swampy environments more actively. This is a semi-aquatic predator that spends most of its time in water, where its movements become almost invisible. It hunts fish, birds, and small mammals, using a sudden burst from ambush. Interestingly, its body allows it to stay underwater for a long time, minimizing visibility to potential prey. In water, it becomes almost a shadow, visible only at the moment of attack. Its strategy is not pursuit, but total fusion with the environment until the last moment. This is a snake that turns the water itself into part of its hunt. In the dim tropical forests of Singapore and Malaysia, this spider appears like a flash of cold electricity. The Singapore blue tarantula is famous for the metallic blue sheen covering its legs, a color that shifts depending on the angle of the light, as though its body contains some hidden source of energy. This arboreal species prefers deep tree hollows and crevices, where it constructs dense silk retreats with multiple entrances and interconnected tunnels. Its behavior is nervous yet precise. The spider rarely moves without a reason, but the slightest vibration can trigger a sudden, explosive burst of speed. Interestingly, it is considered one of the most territorial tree-dwelling tarantulas. Rather than simply occupying a space, it effectively claims it through an intricate network of silk and signal lines. In the wild, it hunts insects and small arboreal animals with remarkable accuracy, launching ambushes at exactly the right moment. Massive silhouette, like it was built from armor and stubbornness. The elephant beetle doesn't hide, it announces itself with shape. Males carry a huge horn, more like a lever for combat than decoration. In mating battles, it works like a mechanical tool. Hook, flip, toss the rival. Brute mechanics decide the outcome. Its body is covered with tough, velvet-textured chitin, and movements, contrary to expectations, are precise and controlled. Larvae live in wood, growing for years to emerge armed. Paradoxically, despite its size, it mainly feeds on sap and fruit, and when it walks slowly along a branch, the forest seems to give way. The blue Malayan coral snake looks as if someone accidentally dropped a piece of a neon sign into the tropical forest. Its deep, bluish-black body is crossed by bright blue stripes, while the head and tail are colored a rich red-orange. The combination is so striking that many people assume photos of it are digitally altered. But all of that beauty is completely real. The species lives in the forests of Southeast Asia and leads a mostly secretive life. One of its most fascinating traits is tied to its diet. This snake often hunts other snakes, including venomous species. Its venom is considered one of the most specialized among coral snakes and primarily affects the nervous system. Despite its impressive coloration, encountering this reptile in the wild is incredibly difficult. Most of the time, it hides under the forest litter or among tree roots. Some spiders look as if nature decided to have a little fun with their design, and the Mexican red-knee tarantula is one of the most striking examples. Against its velvety black body, the bright orange-red joints on its legs glow like warning lights, telling everything nearby to keep its distance. But appearances can be deceiving. Despite its impressive size and large fangs, this giant is known as one of the calmest and most patient tarantulas in the world. In the dry regions of Mexico, it spends most of its life near its burrow, conserving energy and avoiding unnecessary conflicts. Interestingly, its primary defense is often not a bite at all, but specialized irritating hairs on its abdomen that it can literally flick at an attacker. Females are remarkably long-lived, sometimes surviving for more than 30 years, a lifespan that sounds almost unbelievable for a spider. The green mamba is an example of how nature can turn camouflage into an almost artistic technique. Its body is colored in rich green shades that dissolve perfectly into the foliage of the tropical forests of East and Southern Africa. Unlike the more nervous black mamba, this species more often chooses a secretive lifestyle, spending most of its time in trees, where its movement looks like a shadow flowing smoothly between branches. The snake is incredibly slender, which allows it to move easily along thin branches without visible effort. Despite its outward softness, it is a fully venomous predator using a neurotoxin to quickly neutralize prey. Interestingly, its presence is often detected not by the snake itself, but by a slight rustle of leaves, a visual trace that disappears before the brain has time to understand it. This is a perfect example of a tree-dwelling hunter for which invisibility matters more than any display of power. The moment you notice it gliding across a surface, tension rises. It moves incredibly fast and with precise control. The giant centipede isn't an insect, but it outperforms many. Up to a foot long, venomous fangs, a lightning-fast strike, its attack is precise and unannounced. It can hunt small vertebrates, including lizards and even birds. What strikes you most? It doesn't seek conflict, but cross its territory, and the reaction is instantaneous. No extra moves, just speed, venom, and perfect body control. Black mamba is a name that already sounds like a warning, although the real blackness is hidden deeper than it seems. Inside this snake's mouth is a dark blue or charcoal black coloration, which gave it its name, while the body itself has gray olive or brownish tones that blend perfectly into the African savanna. The mamba is known not only for its venom, but also for its speed. Over short distances, it can move faster than most snakes on the planet, creating the illusion of frictionless gliding. Its behavior combines cold efficiency with nervous reaction. When threatened, it raises the front part of its body and can attack multiple times in a series of rapid bites. The venom acts quickly, attacking the nervous system. At the same time, it is important to understand that its reputation as an aggressive monster is greatly exaggerated. Most of the time, the mamba leaves and avoids contact. But when paths cross, the space around it suddenly stops feeling safe. Some spiders stand out through brilliant colors, others through sheer size, but the king baboon spider has chosen a different path entirely. It gives the impression of a rugged underground hermit that couldn't care less about winning anyone's approval. Its body is colored in rich, rusty brown and copper hues that blend perfectly with the soils of the African savanna. This giant spends most of its life deep underground in burrows that can extend several feet below the surface. Convincing such a resident to leave its shelter is no easy task. The spider fiercely defends its territory and prefers greeting visitors with an intimidating display of its large fangs rather than friendly gestures. Its warning system is especially fascinating. Instead of relying on irritating hairs like many tarantulas, it produces a distinctive hissing sound by rapidly rubbing its legs together. The result is so unexpected that it can make even a determined intruder think twice. The Rincals is one of Africa's most unusual snakes. It resembles a cobra on the outside, but stands apart thanks to its unique ability to spit venom. Its body is dark with a distinctive pale ring on the neck that it displays when threatened. In moments of danger, it raises the front part of its body and spreads its hood, creating a visual warning. Its main weapon is accurately ejecting venom into opponents' eyes from a distance, making it an extremely effective defensive tool. Interestingly, unlike many venomous snakes, it often gives birth to live young rather than laying eggs. Its diet includes amphibians and small vertebrates, which it finds near water and humid areas. Despite its fearsome arsenal, it prefers to avoid contact and uses venom only as a last resort. This is a snake whose defense has been refined to the level of precise biomechanics. If gemstones could come to life, one of them would probably look exactly like the Goody sapphire ornamental tarantula. Widely regarded as one of the most beautiful spiders on Earth, its body shimmers with breathtaking shades of blue, sky blue, and metallic silver. Depending on the light, the colors seem to shift and transform, making the spider look like a living sapphire. This rare species is found only in a limited region of India, where it spends its life high in the trees. Beyond its beauty, it possesses remarkable speed and agility. Among the forest canopy, it moves with the confidence of a squirrel racing through branches. Such intense blue coloration is extremely rare among tarantulas, making this species one of nature's most extraordinary creations. It's hard to believe that something so stunning exists outside the pages of fantasy art. The sea crate is one of the few snakes that decided to master the ocean without fully saying goodbye to land. It spends most of its time in the warm waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, but regularly returns to shore to rest, shed its skin, and lay eggs. Its body is decorated with contrasting black bands, making it difficult to confuse with most other marine animals. Its tail deserves special attention. Flattened from side to side, it resembles a paddle. This is what turns the snake into an excellent swimmer. Underwater, the crate can hunt fish and eels in the crevices of coral reefs, reaching places many predators cannot access. Despite having very powerful venom, these snakes are usually calm and rarely show aggression. Their ability to remain underwater for long periods is supported by efficient use of oxygen stores and partial oxygen absorption through the skin. If spiders competed in elegance, the Brazilian black tarantula would undoubtedly be among the favorites. Its body is covered in dense, coal-black hairs that take on a silky sheen when the light hits them. It almost looks as though the spider is wearing a perfectly tailored black suit and has no intention of changing it. Yet, its most remarkable trait isn't its appearance, it's its temperament. Among large tarantulas, this species is famous for its calm nature and rarely shows aggression without reason. Native to the savannas of Brazil, it lives a slow and deliberate life, creating shelters in the ground and patiently waiting for prey to come within reach. Its strategy resembles that of an experienced chess player: minimal movement, maximum efficiency. This spider grows slowly, but it can live for decades. Every movement appears deliberate and confident, as if it knows that rushing is a problem for creatures with far less time to spare. The mangrove snake looks like a creature designed specifically for an adventure movie. Its smooth black body is covered with bright yellow crossbands, creating a contrast that is impossible to ignore. It lives in the mangrove forests and humid jungles of Southeast Asia, where it moves with equal confidence both on the ground and among tree branches. Its large eyes with vertical pupils are especially striking, giving its gaze an almost feline expressiveness. This is mainly a nocturnal hunter, emerging after dark in search of lizards, birds, frogs, and small mammals. Although it has venom, agility and the ability to sneak up on prey play the main role in its success. Young individuals often have especially contrasting coloration, as if warning everything around them to keep its distance. In the dense growth of mangrove swamps, this remarkable snake looks like a moving warning sign that nature equipped with excellent vision and quick reflexes. Among the sun-scorched landscapes of the American Southwest lives a tarantula that seems to have borrowed its colors directly from the desert itself. The Arizona blonde tarantula is covered in soft beige, sandy, and golden brown tones that allow it to blend almost perfectly into the dry earth around it. Its appearance lacks flashy markings, yet that natural harmony is exactly what makes it so remarkable. Beneath the blazing sun of Arizona and Mexico, this spider spends the hottest hours of the day inside deep burrows where temperatures are far more comfortable. One of its most fascinating traits is the lifespan of its females, which can exceed 30 years. Some individuals may outlive several generations of people. During breeding season, males embark on long journeys across the desert, traveling great distances in search of a mate. This species proves that beauty doesn't always come from bright colors. It can also be found in the perfect ability to disappear into the landscape. The red mountain racer looks as if someone decided to paint a snake in the colors of a sunset sky. Its bright red or red-orange coloration makes it one of the most striking racers in Asia. It lives in mountain forests of Thailand, Malaysia, and nearby regions, preferring cool, humid areas at higher elevations. Despite its impressive appearance, it is not easy to find. This is a fairly secretive snake with a mostly arboreal lifestyle. Its slender body and long tail allow it to move easily along branches, almost like tightropes. The racer hunts lizards, frogs, and small vertebrates. Its color looks especially beautiful after rain when the damp scales begin to reflect light and become almost fiery. Many reptile enthusiasts consider this species one of the most beautiful snakes in Asia. You look and can't quite believe the scale. One of the largest moths in the world with wingspans up to 10 to 12 inches. The adult atlas moth doesn't eat at all. Its mouthparts are vestigial, and life after the cocoon is a short, almost symbolic finale. But its wings tell a story. The tips resemble snake heads, a visual trick that can deter predators. It doesn't rush or fuss, just exists, demonstrating that sometimes greatness isn't action, but form, color, and absolute calm before the inevitable. The Gaboon viper looks like the absolute world champion of camouflage among snakes. In the forests of Central and West Africa, it literally disappears among fallen leaves thanks to an incredibly complex geometric pattern of brown, cream, pink, and black tones. Each scale looks as if it were hand-painted by an artist obsessed with symmetry. But the main sensation is not hidden in its appearance. This snake has the longest venomous fangs of any snake on the planet. They can exceed 2 inches. Imagine a weapon the size of a good folding knife hidden inside the head of a reptile. Despite its frightening reputation, the gaboon viper is not especially aggressive and prefers to rely on stillness. Sometimes it lies without moving for so long that it becomes part of the forest floor. Its massive body can reach 6.5 feet in length and looks almost unbelievably thick by snake standards. An acrobat of the tropical forests of South America and the Caribbean, this spider is instantly recognizable by the pinkish tips of its feet and its velvety dark body. The Antilles pinktoe tarantula lives high in the canopy, weaving intricate silk retreats among leaves and branches. Its movements are incredibly smooth and precise, almost as if it flows across the surface of the wood. Unlike terrestrial species, it actively uses jumping and safety lines to travel between different parts of the canopy. Its diet consists of both flying and crawling insects, which it captures directly from the air or from its webbing. Young spiders often display brighter colors that gradually darken with age. Considered one of the more calm and manageable tarantula species, it remains incredibly elusive thanks to its agility in the treetops. This snake looks as if nature deliberately gave it a helmet, a black head that contrasts sharply with a beige-yellow body. The black-headed python lives in northern Australia and prefers dry, hot regions where most other species struggle with the temperature. Its uniqueness lies in the fact that it hunts reptiles, including lizards and even snakes, showing rare resistance to potentially dangerous prey. That makes it one of the few specialized reptile hunters. Its behavior is relatively calm, but at the moment of attack, it becomes surprisingly fast for its size. It often hides in burrows where the temperature is more stable and comes out to hunt at night. Its method of seizing prey is especially interesting. It does not simply constrict, but literally pins the victim down so there's no room left to move. The inland taipan is a snake that nature seems to have assembled according to the principle of maximum efficiency with no room for error. Its body is colored in muted olive-brown shades that change depending on the season, as if the skin responds to the temperature and light of the Australian deserts. Unlike bright tropical species, there is no display here, only camouflage refined to perfection. This species is considered to have one of the strongest venoms of any land snake, capable of paralyzing the nervous system in a matter of minutes. At the same time, the taipan itself is not aggressive and almost always avoids contact, preferring to disappear before it is noticed. Its hunt is a short explosion of speed, a lightning-fast bite and immediate retreat, after which it simply waits for the venom to do its work. Living in the dry interior regions of Australia, it rarely encounters humans, which makes it a legend and a hidden symbol of the perfect desert predator. Scale throws off normal judgment. Legs like branches, body a dense mass of power, moving with quiet confidence. The Goliath bird eater is one of the largest spiders on Earth, and its presence is physically felt. Hairs on its body act as sensors, detecting the slightest vibrations, and can form an irritating defense cloud when threatened. Despite its name, birds are rare in its diet, mostly large insects, amphibians, small vertebrates. Bite is painful, but not the main tool. Control and capture matter more. And here's the catch. Despite its power, it's not inherently aggressive, a cautious strategist preferring to be left alone. You approach, and suddenly the caterpillar becomes a snake. The front body inflates into a false head with eyes and scale patterns. It's not just a fence, it's a full performance designed to trigger instant predator reactions. The caterpillar may move, enhancing the illusion, making a predator retreat. Calm, it seems ordinary. Threatened, it's something else entirely. Survival isn't always strength or speed, but convincing your opponent they face something entirely different. The San Francisco garter snake looks as if nature decided to create a reptile that could easily compete in brightness with tropical parrots. Along its slender body run incredible stripes of turquoise, red, orange, and black, creating one of the most striking patterns among all North American snakes. Paradoxically, such noticeable coloration belongs to a creature that spends most of its life trying to avoid unnecessary attention. This rare species lives around San Francisco, preferring wet meadows, marshes, and the edges of bodies of water. Its diet consists mainly of frogs, tadpoles, and small fish. Its speed is especially interesting. When danger appears, the snake can seem to dissolve into the grass in a matter of seconds. Today, this species is considered one of the rarest and most protected snakes in the United States. Urbanization is gradually taking away its natural habitats, which makes every encounter with this beauty a genuine stroke of luck. This rare and visually spectacular species looks as though nature decided to experiment with design. Male ladybird spiders are bright red with bold black spots, giving them an appearance remarkably similar to a ladybug and inspiring their common name. Females, by contrast, are dark-colored and highly secretive, spending most of their lives underground. These spiders inhabit sandy or dry soils, where they construct carefully hidden burrows. During the breeding season, males become much more active and leave their shelters, making them both visible and vulnerable. Their vivid coloration is not primarily a defense mechanism, but rather part of a complex process of natural selection. The species was once considered extremely rare and at risk of disappearing in some regions, although isolated populations still survive across parts of Europe. Its life is a constant balance between secrecy and a brief period of bold visibility. The puff adder is one of Africa's most famous and at the same time most underestimated snakes. Its body is massive and dense, with a distinctive zigzag pattern in yellow, brown, and dark tones that blends beautifully with dry grass and fallen leaves. The main feature of this snake is its strategy. It does not chase prey and does not show off speed. It simply lies there and waits, and that stillness is exactly what makes it dangerous. When threatened, the adder inflates its body and hisses loudly, raising the front part of its body into a defensive posture. Its bite is lightning fast and precise, and its venom has a strong, destructive effect on tissue. Interestingly, many incidents happen not because the snake is aggressive, but because people literally do not notice it. It does not actively camouflage itself, it simply becomes part of the ground. And perhaps that is the most effective survival tactic. The Chaco golden knee tarantula looks as if nature decided to add a touch of luxury to the world of giant spiders. Its dark velvety body is accented by bright golden bands on the leg joints that become especially striking when it moves. It almost looks like the spider's wearing armor trimmed in gold. Native to the dry Gran Chaco plains of Argentina and Paraguay, this species thrives in an environment that is far from forgiving. Yet, it has mastered the art of combining resilience with remarkable calmness. Most of its time is spent near its burrow, conserving energy and avoiding unnecessary risks. Interestingly, this tarantula grows quite slowly but can live for many years. In a world where so many creatures are always in a hurry, the Chaco golden knee resembles a master of the long game. It doesn't rely on speed or aggression to impress. Its greatest strengths are patience, confidence, and an imposing appearance that makes this ordinary grassland resident seem like true royalty among tarantulas. The blood python did not get its name by accident. Its rich red-brown coloration looks as if the dense tropical soil of Sumatra and Malaysia has frozen inside it. It is one of the most massive and heavy-bodied snakes among pythons, making it look almost square in cross-section. It is not known for long lunges or a complex arboreal lifestyle. This is a ground hunter that prefers to wait for prey in ambush. Its temperament is often described as more tense than that of other pythons. It can react sharply to movement and defend itself more actively than expected. But behind that is a simple survival strategy in dense, humid swamp forests where every contact can matter. Interestingly, this species shows strong individual variation in response to its environment. Some individuals are calm, while others are far more alert. The green tree python looks so much like the emerald tree boa that an inexperienced observer could easily confuse them. But this is an example of different branches of evolution arriving at almost the same solution. Living in the forests of New Guinea, Indonesia, and Australia, this python also prefers life among the branches. Its rich green coloration makes the body almost invisible among the leaves. Young snakes are even more surprising. They can be bright yellow, brick red, or orange before developing their adult coloration. Its resting posture is especially eye-catching. The python folds itself into neat coils over a branch like a carefully wound rope. The head remains pointed downward, ready to strike instantly. Sensitive heat receptors help it detect warm-blooded prey even in complete darkness. Because of this, the snake becomes a true night surveillance system hidden among the foliage. The Australian woma looks as if an artist first painted a python in warm sandy tones, then carefully dipped its head into black paint. That contrast is exactly what makes the snake one of Australia's most recognizable reptiles. Its light body carries numerous crossbands that help it blend into the reddish soil and dry landscapes of the continent. Unlike many other pythons, the woma often hunts in burrows and can enter narrow underground passages after prey. Its diet often includes other snakes, including venomous ones. Interestingly, its thick skin helps it deal relatively safely with dangerous opponents. This snake does not have tree-dwelling grace and does not impress with record-breaking length, but it makes up for that with unusual behavior, boldness, and excellent underground hunting skills. Among Australian reptiles, the woma is considered one of the most distinctive and underrated pythons in the world. The starburst baboon tarantula looks as though it has been painted with streaks of silver light. Pale, radiating patterns spread across its body against a darker background, creating the impression of a miniature starburst. This arboreal species inhabits the tropical forests of West Africa, where it spends most of its life high above the ground. Unlike many bulky tarantulas, it is astonishingly fast. Its movements can be so rapid that they become little more than a blur. Life in the trees demands exceptional coordination, and this spider demonstrates that skill perfectly. It makes extensive use of silk to create elaborate shelters and hunting zones. This species proves that even a large tarantula can be both powerful and incredibly swift. The African rock python is one of the largest and most powerful snakes on the African continent. Its massive body is covered with a complex pattern of olive, brown, and cream blotches that resemble cracks in rock, perfectly reflecting its usual habitat. This python is equally confident on land, in water, and among rocky terrain, showing the versatility of a large predator. Its hunting strategy is based on strength, a sudden grab, and a tight constriction of the prey. Interestingly, this species is known for its ability to hunt fairly large prey, including medium-sized mammals. At the same time, its behavior is not always predictable. It can show both secrecy and defensive aggression when threatened. In Africa's natural system, it is one of the key predators, demonstrating just how effective simple but powerful survival mechanics can be. The white-lipped python seems built for contrast. A dark, almost charcoal black body and a pale line along the lips, as if carefully drawn with a brush. This species from New Guinea stands out not only for its appearance, but also for its temperament. It is much more active and nervous than many of its relatives. Unlike slower pythons, it can quickly change position, reacting to the slightest vibrations in the forest floor. Its hunting strategy is based on surprise, a sudden strike, a grab, and an instant coil. In the wild, it is not limited to one environment. It feels equally confident on the ground, among roots, and in dense vegetation. Young individuals are especially active and even aggressive when defending territory. Interestingly, this python has some of the strongest muscles among related species, making its grip on prey almost flawless. The name wolf spider was not given by accident. Unlike most of its relatives, which trust their webs to do the hunting, this predator prefers to take matters into its own hands. Its sturdy body is covered in dense hairs, while its large eyes give it an almost mammalian appearance. Its vision is particularly impressive. Among spiders, members of this family are considered true masters of visual hunting. Rather than waiting in a web, they actively patrol their territory, track down prey, and launch rapid attacks. Even more fascinating is their parental behavior. Females carry egg sacs attached to their abdomens, and after the spiderlings hatch, dozens of them ride on their mother's back for a time. Such care is relatively rare in the spider world. This is not just a hunter, it is one of the most dynamic and independent spiders on Earth, relying on speed, vision, and active pursuit rather than passive traps. Sometimes nature seems to test just how unusual an animal can be, and that is when the eyelash viper appears. Its main feature is obvious immediately. Above the eyes are raised scales that look like long eyelashes. It looks dramatic, but there is no makeup here. These structures help break up the outline of the head among leaves and branches. The snake's coloration is even more striking. In nature, individuals can be bright yellow, green, orange, reddish, and even pink. At times, it seems as if you are looking not at a predator, but at an exotic flower that somehow learned to hiss. Living in the tropical forests of Central and South America, the viper prefers to wait patiently for prey, staying motionless for hours. Its venom helps quickly immobilize small animals and birds. At the same time, the snake is quite modest in size, usually less than 2 feet long. The contrast between its small body and its vivid appearance makes it one of the most photogenic and at the same time most dangerous beauties in the snake world. The spider-tailed horned viper is one of those species that makes one thing clear the moment you learn about it. Nature's imagination is far ahead of any screenwriters. This snake lives in the rocky regions of Iran and became famous for its unique tail, whose tip looks astonishingly like a spider. The resemblance is so convincing that birds regularly mistake it for a real arthropod. While potential prey flies closer to grab an easy snack, the viper patiently waits for the perfect distance. Then comes the lightning-fast strike. This hunting method is called aggressive mimicry and is considered one of the most sophisticated tricks in the animal world. The look is completed by small horn-like projections above the eyes, giving the snake an almost mythical appearance. For a long time, scientists did not even understand the purpose of the unusual tail, considering it an accidental structural feature. Today, this species is often cited as one of the most striking examples of how far natural selection can go in search of new ways to deceive prey. Soft body, like matte fabric, and slow, deliberate movements. The velvet worm seems harmless until it hunts. At the right moment, it shoots streams of sticky slime, instantly forming a net that traps prey. No teeth, no speed, just precise shot and control. Then comes digestive enzymes, making the meal accessible. Striking contrast, external softness with harsh functionality. These creatures retain ancient traits, fragments of another era surviving to today. Sensitive to moisture, avoiding light, they operate in shadows, where their strategy works perfectly. The tentacled snake looks as if evolution decided to run a strange experiment and test just how bizarre a predator could become without losing efficiency. From the muddy waters of rivers and swamps in Southeast Asia, this creature watches its prey with two short fleshy projections on its snout, resembling tiny tentacles. But these are not decoration and not some random quirk of nature. These sensitive organs can detect the tiniest vibrations in the water, turning the snake into a living sonar system. While a fish believes it is safe, the hunter is already calculating its position with remarkable precision. Even more interesting is the way it hunts. The snake can anticipate the victim's reaction. It makes a false movement with its body, forcing the fish to reflexively dart in a pre-calculated direction, straight into the open mouth. This behavior is considered one of the most complex among reptiles. At about 3.2 feet long, this snake spends almost its entire life underwater, where its brown spotted coloration dissolves its outline among silt, driftwood, and aquatic vegetation. The paradise flying snake can cause mild confusion even in someone who is sure they understand the laws of nature. A snake is supposed to crawl, right? This one decided that rules exist for anyone but itself. Living in the forests of Southeast Asia, it regularly makes gliding jumps between trees over distances of more than 60 feet. Before taking off, its body flattens, transforming from a cylinder into something like a living ribbon. This creates lift and allows the snake to control its trajectory with surprising precision. Watching that movement feels incredibly strange. It looks as if a living branch is flying through the air. Its bright green coloration with black and yellow patterns helps it blend into the foliage. The snake hunts lizards, frogs, and small animals, often spotting them from above. Its maneuverability is so high that it can change direction while in the air. When nature wants to flex, it creates the Hercules beetle. Massive, with horns seemingly made for duels. Males use them like grasping tongs, lifting rivals and throwing them to assert dominance and attract mates. At up to 7 inches long, It's one of the planet's largest beetles, but its strength isn't just size, it can lift many times its own weight. You watch a silent battle, each grip decisive, the winner staying quiet, simply remaining. The Brazilian rainbow boa is living proof that nature can work with optics as well as any skilled engineer. At first glance, you are simply looking at a beautiful brownish snake with characteristic ring-shaped patterns along its body. But the moment a ray of sunlight touches its scales at the right angle, the real show begins. The surface of the skin splits the light, creating flashes of every color of the rainbow. The effect is so bright that it looks as if the snake is covered with the thinnest film of precious crystals. This species lives in the tropical forests of South America, where high humidity helps keep its famous shine especially expressive. Despite its luxurious appearance, the boa remains an effective nocturnal hunter, tracking rodents, birds, and small mammals. Young individuals often spend more time in trees, while adults prefer a more terrestrial lifestyle. Among all the snakes in the world, it is hard to find another species that shows so clearly how millions of years of evolution can create something truly unique. A dark, heavy body paired with a reddish abdomen makes the Mexican red-rumped tarantula easy to recognize, even in the dim light of its burrow. This classic terrestrial tarantula values stability above all else. Deep shelters, moist soil, and as little disturbance as possible. It digs its burrows with such care that the walls become smooth and reinforced with silk. Although generally calm, it can quickly switch to a defensive posture when threatened, standing its ground rather than fleeing. One remarkable trait is its longevity. Females can live for decades, turning a single burrow into a lifelong residence. Its diet includes almost anything that comes within reach, from large beetles to small vertebrates. In its ecosystem, it serves as an important regulator of insect populations. Despite its intimidating appearance, it rarely shows aggression without cause and simply prefers to keep a respectful distance. This species embodies the quiet strength of the American prairies and dry woodlands. The Texas brown tarantula is colored in muted shades of brown that make it nearly invisible against soil and stone. It spends its life in self-dug burrows, often using the same shelter for years while continuously expanding and reinforcing it. Its behavior is calm and deliberate, almost philosophical in nature. It rarely leaves its refuge unless necessary. Yet when prey appears, its response is immediate, a swift strike followed by precise capture. Mature males often abandon their burrows and set off on risky journeys in search of females, making them far more vulnerable than usual. This species plays an important role in controlling insect populations across arid regions. Despite its impressive size, it prefers to avoid confrontation, relying on camouflage and stillness as primary survival tools. It looks assembled from different worlds: elongated head, textured body, wings resembling tree bark. Despite its name, it doesn't glow, but its camouflage is almost a work of art. It imitates both shape and texture of its surface, blending perfectly. Some believe its strange snout intimidates or distracts predators. You look at it, and it's impossible to tell where the insect ends and the environment begins. Not just camouflage, visual deception at a perceptual level. The viper boa is a strange combination of forms. as if nature decided to merge the calmness of a boa with the character of a viper in one body. Its appearance is rough. A massive head, a dense body, and a coarse scale texture that resembles bark. It lives in New Guinea and nearby islands, preferring humid forests and swampy zones. Despite the name, it is not a venomous snake, but its behavior often creates confusion. It can coil sharply and make short strikes, creating the illusion of danger. Its diet is based on amphibians and small vertebrates, which it catches from cover. Its hunt is not a chase, but an instant reaction to movement within reach. The main feature of the species is its adaptability. It feels equally confident on the ground and among dense vegetation. The king cobra earned its name not because of the size of its hood and not because of legends, but because it holds a truly special place among snakes. It is the longest venomous snake on the planet, with some individuals capable of exceeding 16 feet. But its real uniqueness lies in its behavior. Unlike most snakes, the king cobra often hunts other snakes, including very dangerous species. Its intelligence is also considered one of the most developed among reptiles. Its care for offspring is especially remarkable. The female builds a real nest out of leaves and guards the clutch, which is especially rare among snakes. When threatened, the cobra can raise a significant part of its body off the ground and almost look a person directly in the eyes. In that moment, it feels less like meeting a reptile and more like facing a creature that fully understands its own power. Deep within the humid forests of Trinidad, this spider behaves like a shadow that can think for itself. The Trinidad olive tarantula is an arboreal predator with an elongated body and an olive-green sheen that blends seamlessly with bark and moss. After only a second of observation, it can seem to disappear completely. Its movements are sharp and precise, never wasting energy unnecessarily. Unlike many ground-dwelling tarantulas, it builds retreats inside tree hollows and cracks, covering the entrances with dense silk. Its reflexes are exceptionally quick, allowing it to strike prey within fractions of a second after detecting vibrations in the web. The menu ranges from insects to small tree-dwelling vertebrates. Despite its predatory abilities, this tarantula displays unusual caution, almost as if it constantly weighs the risk of every situation. Its venom is not considered medically significant to humans, but its speed commands respect. The cantil belongs to the kind of snake that does not need bright colors to make a powerful impression. Its appearance is built on the contrast of a powerful body, a broad head, and a strict pattern of dark and light bands. This viper lives in Mexico and Central American countries, preferring forests, scrubland, and humid lowlands. Interestingly, the cantil is considered a relative of the famous American cottonmouths, but it looks much heavier and more severe. Young individuals have a bright tail that is used as lure for prey. The snake begins twitching the tip, imitating a small, helpless creature. A curious victim approaches, and the hunt ends almost instantly. Despite its reputation as a dangerous predator, the cantil rarely seeks conflict with large animals and prefers to remain unnoticed. But a random encounter with this snake quickly reminds you that the calm of nature sometimes hides very serious defensive tools. The camel spider is one of those creatures surrounded by so many legends that fact and fiction often become blurred. To begin with, despite its name, it isn't actually a true spider at all, but a member of a separate order of arachnids. Its appearance is so unusual that most people only notice that detail after recovering from the initial shock. Massive jaws dominate its head and make it look like something straight out of a science fiction movie about desert monsters. Found in the hot regions of Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, this predator is capable of impressive speed and actively chases prey instead of waiting in ambush. Particularly remarkable is its ability to cope with extreme desert heat. Camel spiders constantly seek shade and are known to follow larger animals simply to stay cool. Looking at one feels like seeing nature combine speed, power, and the harsh character of the desert into a single creature. The emerald tree boa is a decoration of the tropical forest that somehow turned out to be alive. Its bright green body is marked with white zigzag lines, and its posture is almost always the same. The boa coils neatly around a branch, hanging its head downward while waiting for prey. This species lives in the rainforest of the Amazon, where it spends most of its life above the ground. Its teeth are especially impressive, among the largest of any non-venomous snake. They help it firmly hold birds and small mammals captured among the branches. Young individuals are often born not green, but bright orange or red, going through an astonishing color transformation as they mature. Thanks to its powerful muscles, the boa can remain motionless for hours, becoming part of the vegetation. When prey gets close enough, the strike is explosive. Among tree-dwelling snakes, it is hard to find a more striking example of how beauty can combine with patience, precision, and hunting efficiency. This spider looks more like a precious gemstone than a living animal hidden among the trees of the Amazon. The Brazilian jeweled tarantula is one of the smallest arboreal tarantulas, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for with spectacular coloration. Its body is decorated with brilliant metallic shades of green, blue, and red, as if nature decided to gather an entire palette of colors into a single creature. It lives inside tree cavities lined with thick silk, creating a perfectly concealed retreat. Its behavior is equally refined, with no wasted movements and only precise reactions to the slightest disturbance. One fascinating trait is its ability to seal off its shelter almost instantly, making it nearly invisible to predators. Rare in the wild and highly prized among tarantula enthusiasts and collectors, this species combines delicate beauty with impressive survival skills, relying on camouflage and architectural ingenuity to stay safe. Its appearance is a quiet event, easy to miss. Pale green wings with long tails move almost silently, creating a sense of lightness. The tails disrupt bat echolocation, deflecting attacks. Adults, like many large moths, don't feed, living off caterpillar reserves. You watch and sense fragility combined with clever protection in a brief life. Some snakes disguise themselves as branches, some as leaves, and the African bush viper seems to have decided to become a living gemstone. Its body is covered with strongly keeled scales, making the reptile look spiky and almost fantastical. Its range of colors is astonishing. Bright green, yellow, olive, and even bluish shades can occur. When this viper sits among leaves, it looks as if a branch has suddenly grown eyes. It lives in the tropical forests of Central Africa and prefers to spend time in shrubs and trees. The snake's movements are slow and calm, but its hunting strategy is highly effective. Motionless waiting followed by a lightning-fast strike. Its prehensile tail is especially impressive, helping it hold on among branches. Compared with many ground-dwelling vipers, this species looks like a representative of a separate world, where evolution decided to add maximum decoration without losing predatory character. If spiders had artists among their ranks, garden spiders would surely be counted among the most talented. Their webs resemble works of art, and their appearance is far more colorful than most people would expect from an ordinary garden resident. Yellow, black, silver, and white markings combine to form striking patterns visible even from a distance. Particularly intriguing are the mysterious zigzag structures found in the center of the web, known as stabilimenta. Scientists still debate exactly why these spiders create such unusual designs. They may help attract prey or warn larger animals about the presence of the web. Garden spiders spend much of their time sitting in the center of these perfectly engineered traps, patiently waiting for visitors. But the moment prey becomes entangled, the calm observer transforms into a highly efficient hunter. Boelen's python can make you question whether the snake in front of you is even real. Its body is colored a deep charcoal black with an iridescent metallic sheen that flashes with every color of the spectrum when light hits it. This rare species lives in the highlands of New Guinea, where the cool climate differs noticeably from the typical tropical conditions most pythons are associated with. Young individuals look completely different. Their coloration includes bright orange and yellow elements that disappear with age. That transformation makes the snake's life path especially unusual. Adults can reach nearly 10 feet in length while remaining surprisingly slender and elegant. Boelen's python is considered one of the rarest and most mysterious large pythons in the world. Perhaps that is why every photograph of this snake feels less like an encounter with an ordinary animal and more like seeing a living fragment of polished obsidian that somehow learned how to move. The Sydney funnel web spider has long been one of the most famous arachnids in Australia. Its appearance may not be colorful, but it commands respect from the very first glance. The glossy black body looks as though it's covered in polished armor, while its powerful fangs make it clear that this is no ordinary hunter. This species constructs characteristic funnel-shaped retreats that extend deep into the soil or remain hidden among tree roots. Inside these shelters, the spider can wait patiently for hours until the perfect opportunity arises. Its reaction to prey is particularly impressive. Vibrations in the web instantly transform a motionless observer into a lightning-fast predator. The species is also highly sensitive to changes in humidity and becomes especially active after rainfall. Its behavior showcases an extraordinary blend of strength, precision, and engineering skill. It almost seems as if nature set out to create a spider equally capable of building fortresses and defending them. The Madagascar giant hognose snake breaks the familiar image of a snake as a silent, mysterious hunter. Its snout is equipped with a slightly upturned nose, resembling a miniature snout that it uses to actively dig through loose soil and forest litter. It can exceed 5.5 feet in length, making it the largest hognose snake on the island. It looks impressive on the outside, but its behavior often turns out to be unexpectedly theatrical. When threatened, the snake may flatten its neck, hiss loudly, and perform an entire intimidation display. Its diet consists mainly of frogs, small vertebrates, and other small animals it manages to find among fallen leaves. Its brown, sandy coloration hides it beautifully against the forest floor. Against the exotic backdrop of Madagascar, where the competition for the title of strangest creature is incredibly high, the giant hognose snake confidently holds its place among the island's most unusual animals. Deep within the tropical forests of South America lives a spider that abandoned the waiting game entirely. The Brazilian wandering spider is constantly on the move. Rather than building permanent capture webs, it spends every night exploring its surroundings in search of prey. Long legs, a powerful body, and impressive speed make it one of the most effective hunters in its region. Its defensive display is particularly striking. When threatened, the spider raises its front legs and reveals vivid warning colors. The posture is so dramatic that many potential attackers decide not to take the risk. In the wild, this species hunts insects, small vertebrates, and other invertebrates. Its life resembles a never-ending expedition through the rainforest, where every night brings new opportunities and new challenges. The dog-toothed cat snake has a strange name that perfectly reflects its contradictory nature. Its body is thin, elongated, and often colored in brown-green or bronze tones, allowing it to disappear among the forest leaves and branches of Southeast Asia. Its main feature is hidden not in its appearance, but in the structure of its teeth. They curve slightly backward, like those of a predator that never lets prey go willingly. Although it has venom, the venom is used more to secure the victim than to destroy it instantly. This snake leads a mostly arboreal life and hunts lizards and small animals, relying on surprise. Its behavior could be called a quiet strategy. No display of strength, only precise calculation of distance and the moment of attack. In the dense forest, it does not look like a threat, but like part of the vegetation itself, until it becomes too late to notice the difference. Sometimes it feels like the brightest creatures should belong among coral reefs or tropical birds, yet the green-bottle blue tarantula completely shatters that expectation. Its colors look almost unreal. Metallic blue legs, an emerald green carapace, and a vivid orange abdomen combine to create a look that's impossible to forget. Native to the arid regions of Venezuela, this spider prefers building elaborate silk structures rather than digging deep burrows. And it does so with remarkable dedication. At times, it seems determined to turn the surrounding vegetation into a personal architectural masterpiece. Unlike many of its relatives, it uses webbing extensively not only for protection but also for hunting. With such dazzling colors, you might expect it to constantly show itself off, yet this skilled web builder prefers to remain the undisputed ruler of its own fortress. The coastal taipon is a more nervous and faster-moving version of its desert relative, adapted to the humid forests and coastal regions of Australia and New Guinea. Its body is usually light brown or olive, but in motion it seems almost fluid, as if the snake is not crawling but sliding over the surface of the air. This reptile is known for its explosive speed. The attack happens so quickly that the human eye can barely register the moment of impact. Its venom is extremely powerful, affecting the nervous system and the blood at the same time, which makes it one of the most dangerous snake species on the planet. At the same time, the taipon does not seek conflict. Its behavior is more defensive than aggressive. It is fascinating to watch how, before striking, it literally gathers itself like a spring, fixing its gaze on the target. This is not the display of power, but the pure mechanics of hunting where every millisecond matters. You look straight at it and don't see it. The leaf insect melts into the greenery with alarming precision. Its body mimics the shape of a leaf down to the tiniest details. Veins, curves, even damage, as if someone had already nibbled the edge. It doesn't just copy appearance, it mimics behavior, swaying slightly as if in a breeze, reinforcing the illusion. Predators walk by, oblivious. And here's the paradox. The more accurately it looks like part of the world, the less it exists as an individual creature. You watch and catch yourself thinking, sometimes the best way to survive is to become the background. The hobo spider is hardly the type of creature that seeks attention. There are no bright colors, exotic markings, or intimidating dimensions. Its strength lies elsewhere, in its remarkable ability to adapt and keep moving forward. A light brown body marked with subtle darker patterns helps it blend effortlessly into grass, rocks, and woodland debris. Unlike many spiders that spend their entire lives in one shelter, this species frequently relocates in search of better conditions. Its web takes the form of a funnel, where it patiently waits for prey. The moment an insect wanders too close, the spider bursts from its retreat with incredible speed. It's fascinating to watch such an unassuming creature transform into a swift predator in the blink of an eye. Its life resembles the journey of an experienced traveler who succeeds not through strength, but through patience, caution, and the ability to take advantage of every opportunity. The Indian python is a snake that combines the calm of an ancient hunter with the precision of a natural machine. Its body is decorated with soft blotches and a complex pattern in shades of brown, cream, and gray, perfectly suited for life among the forests, swamps, and plains of South Asia. This species prefers ambush hunting, where patience becomes the deciding factor. The snake can remain motionless for hours, waiting for the right moment. Despite its impressive size, it rarely shows aggression without need. Interestingly, the Indian python adapts well to very different conditions, from humid jungles to agricultural areas. It is an excellent swimmer and often uses bodies of water as natural routes for movement. In the ecosystem, this species plays the role of a controlling predator, regulating populations of small and medium-sized animals. Its behavior is an example of how strength can exist without fuss, and how efficiency does not require display. This striking Asian orb weaver is impossible to ignore. Bright yellow, black, and bluish tones combine to create a pattern that can be seen from a considerable distance. The Joro spider builds enormous orb webs that can stretch between trees over impressive spans. These webs are more than simple traps. They are carefully engineered structures capable of holding relatively large prey. The spider itself is calm and patient, often remaining motionless in the center of the web for hours while waiting for vibrations to signal a catch. One fascinating trait is its tolerance for temperature changes, which has allowed the species to expand beyond parts of its traditional range. As with many orb weavers, females are significantly larger than males. Despite its dramatic appearance, the Joro spider poses little threat to humans and relies on height and web placement for protection. Its silhouette resembles a musical instrument, an elongated body, curved lines, like a frozen melody. But behind that shape hides a precise predator, capable of blending seamlessly with dry twigs and leaves. The violin mantis doesn't rely on bright colors or deception. Its strategy is all in form and posture. It can freeze in unnatural positions, enhancing the illusion of being inanimate. And when prey gets too close, movement happens instantly, like a sharp cord. You watch and realize that even in silence, tension can be hiding, ready to snap into action. Some snakes frighten with size, others impress with color, and the Bushmaster seems to have collected both advantages at once, then added the reputation of a true ghost of the tropical forest. It is the largest venomous snake in the Americas, capable of growing to more than 11 feet in length, yet encounters with it are extremely rare. In the humid jungles of South and Central America, its diamond-shaped pattern dissolves perfectly into the carpet of leaves, turning its massive body into an invisible trap. Unlike many vipers, the Bushmaster often hunts at night, patiently waiting for prey in ambush before delivering a lightning-fast strike. Its tail is especially curious. When threatened, the snake vibrates it against dry leaves, creating a sound that resembles a rattlesnake's warning. Even among other venomous reptiles, the bushmaster stands out for an unusual trait. The female stays near the clutch and guards the eggs, which is very rare for vipers. At first glance, the Mexican mole lizard looks like a strange mixture of a snake, an earthworm, and a miniature dragon. Its long, pinkish body is almost completely hidden underground, but the most surprising part is the front, two small forelimbs with powerful claws. It has no hind legs at all, creating the impression that someone forgot to finish the animal's design. This unusual reptile lives on the Baja California peninsula and spends most of its time in loose soil, digging tunnels with surprising speed. Its eyes are tiny because underground, vision does not play a major role. Instead, the animal relies on skin sensitivity and smell. It feeds on insects, larvae, and other small invertebrates. Despite its snake-like appearance, genetically it is much closer to lizards. Nature often loves experiments, but here it clearly decided to combine several ideas into one creature at once. Here's a creature that announces itself before you see it. Its stridulation is a complex acoustic signal, almost a code sent through the night. The giant long-legged katydid stretches its limbs, built for life among branches, each step a delicate balance. Some species mimic leaves with astonishing precision, including damage and veins. And while you search for its eyes, it's already watching you. A strange mix of fragility and hidden confidence. It doesn't hide, it becomes part of the space. Heavy, dense, wingless, surprisingly quiet. Lives underground, digging deep burrows and maintaining stable microclimate. Body built for pressure. Tough shell, strong legs, slow deliberate movement. Unlike familiar cockroaches, it doesn't seek chaos, it seeks stability. Each dry vegetation, recycling it into soil, effectively functioning as an ecosystem processor. Can live for decades, rare among insects. Realizing the scale of its quiet work, you see, sometimes the key processes hide in darkness beneath our feet. Most spiders avoid water whenever possible, but the fishing spider chose a completely different path. Its long legs allow it to move effortlessly across the surface of ponds, marshes, and slow-moving streams. Specialized hairs enable it to detect the tiniest water vibrations just as effectively as other spiders sense movements in a web. When prey appears nearby, things become truly impressive. The spider can rush forward with incredible speed and capture not only insects, but sometimes even small fish or tadpoles. Some species can partially submerge themselves and remain underwater for extended periods while escaping danger or pursuing prey. Its hunting style resembles that of a skilled angler, except that speed, precision, and highly developed senses replace fishing gear. Watching a fishing spider feels like witnessing the meeting point of two worlds, where a land predator moves confidently through an aquatic environment. A gliding silhouette that seems to have absorbed both the darkness of the tropical forest and the shimmer of a gemstone. The amethystine python is not just the largest snake of Australia and New Guinea, but a living example of how a predator can become an almost invisible part of the landscape. Its scales shimmer with violet-green tones, creating the effect of wet metal under sunlight. This snake is in no hurry. It can lie among the branches for hours, watching prey from above, and then make a lightning-fast strike downward. Interestingly, young individuals lead a more arboreal lifestyle, while adults confidently master the ground. The python can swallow prey far wider than its own head thanks to the incredible flexibility of its jaws. It is easy for a viewer to underestimate its calmness, but behind that calmness is precise calculation. There is no fuss here, only a measured survival strategy refined by evolution to almost mathematical precision, where every lunge is already the final scene of the hunt. Looks like a creature made of long lines and shadows. The whip spider spreads its extended limbs, making the surrounding space feel alive. Front legs become antennas, sensing the world, reading vibrations, mapping surroundings. Threatening in appearance, but venomless, relying on speed, grip, and precise calculation. Moves sideways, sharply, almost like a frame shift, disappearing into cracks where light no longer reaches. A nocturnal predator depending on touch, not sight. And there's logic in this. Less noise, more control. Encountering it leaves a strange feeling, as if you've been carefully read from a distance. Sometimes the best defense is disappearing in plain sight. The giant stick insect is a master of illusion. Its elongated body resembles a twig, and movements are slow and intermittent, like swaying in the wind. Some grow over a foot long but remain unnoticed even up close. Predators look and see nothing. And if a threat becomes obvious, it can shed a limb and walk away calmly as if nothing happened. Its world is a game on the edge of perception, where survival belongs to those who can dissolve into their surroundings. Sometimes the strongest strategy is simply not being seen. The leaf-nosed snake gives the impression of a creature that nature carefully designed to disappear into its surroundings. Its unusual nasal projection resembles a tiny leaf or a piece of dry vegetation that somehow got stuck to its snout. These snakes are found mainly on Madagascar, an island that has long been a laboratory for some of the strangest life forms on Earth. Among branches and dry leaves, this predator is almost impossible to notice. Its coloration helps even more, made up of brown, gray, and olive tones with bizarre patterns. When the snake hangs motionless among the vegetation, it looks as if you are seeing nothing more than another twig. But behind that camouflage hides a skilled nocturnal hunter. Its main prey includes lizards, small vertebrates, and sometimes birds. Interestingly, the shape of the nasal projection can vary noticeably between individuals, making each snake slightly unique. The dragon snake looks as if it escaped from the pages of a medieval bestiary. It can be found in the swampy regions of Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia, where one of the strangest reptiles on the planet hides in dark water. Its entire body is covered with sharp, raised scales, creating the impression of a miniature dragon that, for some reason, decided to give up its wings. Its appearance from above is especially surprising. Every scale seems intentionally lifted to break up the outline of the body and turn the snake into a piece of underwater debris or a sunken branch. Despite its intimidating appearance, the dragon snake remains a fairly secretive creature. It spends most of its time motionless, ambushing prey. Its diet consists mainly of fish and amphibians. The biology of this species is still poorly studied, which only strengthens its aura of mystery. Even experienced herpetologists admit that keeping these snakes in captivity is extremely difficult. This spider has elevated camouflage to an art form. The giant lichen orb weaver looks like a fragment of bark covered in lichen, moss, and forest debris rather than a living creature. Yet, beneath that disguise hides a highly skilled predator. Unlike many orb weavers, it does not always place its web directly in open spaces. Instead, its webs are often offset, asymmetrical, and designed for very specific prey that may never realize it has entered a danger zone. During the day, the spider nearly disappears from sight. At night, it becomes a precise hunting machine, reacting instantly to the slightest vibration. The irregular shape of its body and the rough texture of its exoskeleton are no accident. They are the result of evolutionary pressure favoring those that remain unseen. Its strategy is simple yet incredibly effective. Stay still, blend in, and let the world pass by without ever noticing it is there. The Madagascar tree boa is a snake that literally lives between branches, turning trees into its main territory. Its coloration ranges from green to brown tones, allowing it to blend with leaves and bark. It spends most of its life above the ground, where it hunts birds and small mammals. Its body is perfectly adapted to a branching environment, gripping, flexible, and able to keep balance in complex positions. Unlike ground-dwelling species, it can make precise strikes downward, using gravity as part of its strategy. Interestingly, young individuals often have brighter coloration that fades over time, turning into a more camouflaged version. This boa rarely leaves the trees, and its life literally unfolds in three-dimensional space. It is in no hurry, but it always knows exactly where the next support point and potential prey is located. The regal jumping spider fully lives up to its name. Among jumping spiders, it ranks as one of the largest and most impressive species. Males are often deep black with striking white markings, while females may display beautiful combinations of gray, orange, and even bluish tones. Its enormous front-facing eyes are constantly moving, carefully scanning the world around it. At times, it genuinely seems as though the spider is watching and analyzing everything you do. Thanks to its exceptional eyesight, this species can spot prey from surprisingly long distances relative to its size. Rather than attacking immediately, it often approaches cautiously and evaluates the situation first. This behavior makes it one of the most fascinating spiders to observe. What you're seeing is a true miniature strategist that relies on precision, planning, and impressive athletic ability rather than chance. The olive sea snake lives in a world where land barely matters, and its entire existence follows the rhythm of the ocean. Its elongated body is colored in soft olive and gray-green tones that dissolve into the water column and among coral reefs. This snake is fully adapted to marine life. Its tail is flattened and works like a flipper, allowing it to make precise, quick movements in the water. It can hold its breath for a long time and hunts just below the ocean's surface, pursuing fish with almost invisible speed. Interestingly, sea snakes can absorb some oxygen through their skin, making them even less dependent on the surface. Despite its powerful venom, this species rarely shows aggression and often calmly ignores divers. There is no fuss in its behavior, only energy conservation and precise calculation of every movement in a three-dimensional aquatic environment. The Burmese python is a heavyweight among Asian snakes, with a body that combines strength and surprising flexibility. Its skin is decorated with a complex pattern of dark blotches on a golden brown background, resembling ancient stone designs created by nature without a single mistake. This snake can reach impressive sizes and demonstrates remarkable power when hunting. Unlike more secretive species, the Burmese python often uses an ambush strategy, relying on patience and the perfect moment to strike. It is an excellent swimmer, which allows it to hunt in swamps and rivers and move between territories. Interestingly, this species has become invasive in some regions, such as Florida, where it has successfully adapted to a new environment. Despite its intimidating size, the python's behavior is often calm and economical. It does not waste energy unnecessarily, turning every hunt into a carefully calculated process. Dumerril's boa is a master of camouflage from Madagascar, with coloration that resembles a mixture of dry soil, leaves, and shadow. Its body is dense, with an expressive pattern that literally dissolves it into the forest floor. This is a nocturnal hunter that relies on stealth and patience. It can remain motionless for a long time until prey enters the strike zone. Unlike more active species, this boa does not waste energy. Its strategy is built entirely on waiting and timing the moment precisely. Interestingly, it can adapt to different types of habitat on the island, from humid forests to drier areas. Its behavior is often described as calm until the very last moment. But when it seizes its prey, it shows a sudden strength that contrasts with its outward slowness. This is a snake that clearly shows hunting efficiency does not always depend on speed. While most snakes give the impression of secretive hunters, the green anaconda plays in an entirely different league. In front of you is one of the heaviest snakes on the planet, capable of growing to the size of a small car and weighing more than an adult human. Its body is colored in olive green tones with dark rounded spots, allowing the giant to literally disappear in the muddy waters of South American swamps. Interestingly, this snake spends most of its life not on land, but in water, where it feels far more confident than it does on solid ground. Its eyes and nostrils sit high on the head, allowing it to watch the surrounding world while almost completely hidden beneath the surface. The anaconda does not use venom. Its weapon is the incredible power of its muscles, and its grip feels like a living hydraulic press. Despite its fearsome reputation, it prefers to avoid encounters with humans. And females are noticeably larger than males, which, among snakes, almost feels like a violation of the usual rules of nature. Tiny body, trailing a comet-like tail of waxy filaments. A strange, almost fantastical sight. The nymph uses this tail not for beauty. It diverts secretions, lowers infection risk, and confuses predators. In motion, the strands sway, blurring the outline, making it harder to track. Add sudden jumping ability, and you get near-perfect evasion. Feeds on plant sap, piercing tissues with thin mouthpart. No wings yet, but already all the logic of survival. Camouflage, distance, surprise. Among tropical tree snakes, the twin-barred tree snake stands out above all for its elegance. Its slender body seems made for life among branches, where every curve resembles the movement of a living vine. The main background color is often rich in tone, with contrasting stripes running along the body, which is how the species got its name. In dense vegetation, that coloration works as ideal camouflage. The snake actively hunts lizards, frogs, and small tree-dwelling animals, relying on excellent vision and impressive reaction speed. Unlike heavy pythons or massive vipers, it gives the impression of lightness and constant readiness to move. Even the way it travels through branches looks almost like an acrobatic performance. Watching it in the tropical forest, it is hard to shake the thought that you are not seeing a reptile, but a bolt of lightning that learned to live among leaves. A flower that looks back at you. The orchid mantis perfects camouflage, blurring predator and plant entirely. Its petals are modified limbs, color a subtle balance of white, pink, and purple. It doesn't hide, it attracts, luring pollinators for a precise strike. Young mantises can change shades depending on surroundings. Hunting here isn't pursuit, it's earning the prey's trust. Beneath the ground, life buzzes that few ever think about, and the mole cricket is the chief engineer. Its front legs look like miniature excavators, broad, powerful, perfectly designed for digging. It doesn't just dig, it builds complex tunnels for living, hunting, and even amplifying sound. Yes, the mole cricket can sing, and its trills resonate through underground chambers louder than you'd expect from such a body. Clumsy on the outside, precise mechanics inside. It eats whatever it finds: roots, insects, organic matter. And while everything above seems calm, beneath the surface, work never stops. This isn't just an insect, it's hidden soil infrastructure, remembered only after it's already reshaped everything. The silver argiope looks like a creature that somehow wandered into the spider world from a realm of precious metals. Its cephalothorax and abdomen are coated with a silvery sheen that brilliantly reflects sunlight. Against the backdrop of green vegetation, the effect is especially striking. Like other argiopes, this species builds large circular webs featuring distinctive decorative structures in the center. The female often positions herself directly in the middle of the web, holding her legs in pairs to create an even more dramatic silhouette. Despite its elegant appearance, this is a highly capable predator that successfully captures a wide variety of prey. Throughout the tropical and subtropical regions of the Americas, the silver argiope plays an important role in controlling insect populations. Its blend of beauty and functionality resembles a work of art that also serves as a sophisticated engineering masterpiece. Looking at it, you feel transported hundreds of millions of years back. The female trilobite beetle retains an ancient form reminiscent of extinct marine creatures. Segmented, flattened, armored, and almost unchanged as an adult, a phenomenon called neoteny. Males, in contrast, look like ordinary winged beetles, as if from another story. This asymmetry confuses. One species, two lifestyles. The female slowly crawls through leaf litter, feeding on decay, with timeless rhythm as if evolution slowed here. Speed that makes vision lag. The tiger beetle accelerates so sharply it literally loses the picture and must pause to refocus. Predator with racer habits. Long legs, elongated body, jaws able to snatch prey in an instant. Often metallic with green or bronze sheens. Not just beauty, but confidence signaling. It doesn't wait, it chases, overtakes, intercepts. Such speed demands pauses. Burst, stop, adjust, and attack again. Watching it, you feel a system optimized for instant decisions. Spot, chase, capture. Some spiders seem designed to be unforgettable after a single encounter, and the red-headed mouse spider is one of them. Its vivid red cephalothorax contrasts dramatically with its glossy dark abdomen, creating a color combination that looks almost too bold to be real. This unusual species is native to Australia, where it spends much of its life inside deep underground burrows. Although relatively compact in size, it appears highly imposing thanks to its sturdy build and powerful jaws. Males often embark on long journeys in search of mates, leaving the safety of their burrows and covering impressive distances. In many ways, the spider resembles a miniature armored vehicle built to withstand harsh conditions. Beneath its striking appearance lies a remarkably resilient creature perfectly adapted to the hot, dry environments where many other species would struggle to survive. Imagine a hunter that builds its own underground bunker with a secret door and then uses it for ambushes year after year. That's exactly how the trapdoor spider lives. It digs a deep burrow in the ground and seals the entrance with a perfectly camouflaged lid made from silk, soil, and plant debris. Even at close range, the entrance is incredibly difficult to spot. The spider spends most of its time beneath this trapdoor, holding it shut from inside with its legs. The moment an insect passes nearby, the predator bursts out, grabs its prey, and disappears back into its underground hideout. Some species can live in the same burrow for decades. Their lifestyle resembles that of a patient sniper capable of waiting far longer than most other hunters for the perfect opportunity. Watching this species makes one thing clear: sometimes the most effective strategy isn't speed or strength, but flawless preparation. Folded wings reveal not an insect, but a dry leaf. Veins, spots, even decay. Illusion so precise that predators and humans are fooled. Open wings and bright inner colors appear, contrasting the dull exterior. A dual strategy: hide, then suddenly confuse. Watching this transition, you see how nature manipulates perception, breaking expectations instantly. You see a hovering creature and momentarily mistake it for a bird. The hummingbird hawk moth can hover, beating wings rapidly, reaching nectar with a long proboscis. Flight is precise and stable, vision sharp even at dusk. It doesn't land on the flower, it hovers beside it, testing gravity. In that moment, boundaries between animal classes blur. Shape may deceive, but movement reveals true nature. Notice the neck, and everything else fades. Males' necks are many times their body length, a tool in fights. They push rivals from branches like a lever. Color is striking, black with red elytra, making them visible, almost provocative. Females are smaller but select the victor. Strange logic here: a seemingly inconvenient form becomes an advantage if used right. A dragonfly in flight is like a fighter jet, but its real secret lies underwater. The nymph, living there for years, is a predator with a retractable masked jaw that shoots out faster than you can blink. It breathes through its rear and can rapidly jet water to propel itself, a mini rocket. Then comes the transformation. From murky depths emerges a creature with transparent wings and nearly 360-degree vision. The adult snags prey mid-air with a precision any pilot would envy. Its eyes provide a nearly panoramic view of the surroundings. You're not just looking at an insect, you're witnessing a two-stage life: each phase a masterpiece of evolution. If an engineer tried to design an insect with a future antenna system, it would look like the Brazilian treehopper. Strange structures rise from its back, thin rods topped with spheres resembling sensors or unknown machinery. Purpose isn't fully clear: defense, visual deterrence, or predator confusion. You look and can't tell where biology ends and abstraction begins. Yet, the insect remains tiny and vulnerable. Its strategy seems to be becoming a puzzle. The green lynx spider looks perfectly designed for life among plants. Its bright green body blends almost flawlessly with leaves and stems, making it a master of camouflage. A closer look reveals long legs covered with sharp spines that help secure struggling prey. The species earned its name from its hunting style. Much like a lynx among mammals, this spider actively stalks its prey instead of waiting in a web. Its jumps are remarkably accurate, and its lightning-fast reflexes allow it to capture even swift flying insects. Females display a level of parental care rarely seen among spiders, remaining near their egg sacs and guarding their future offspring. Hidden among green vegetation, this hunter appears to be part of the plant itself, but beneath that calm exterior lies one of the most agile and efficient predators of its size. The diabolical ironclad beetle can withstand forces hundreds of times its own weight. Its exoskeleton is an engineering marvel. Layers interlock to distribute pressure so cracks simply don't spread. A car could even drive over it and the beetle would survive. It has no wings, it doesn't fly, but it doesn't need to. Its strategy is simple: be nearly indestructible. Predators can bite, crush, or try to break it. The result is always the same. In a world where most escape, it chooses a different tactic: endure it all. Honestly, it's one of the most stubborn ways to survive. The name sounds like an exaggeration until you see it in action. The assassin bug uses its proboscis like a syringe, piercing prey and injecting enzymes that dissolve internal tissues. It all happens quietly, almost imperceptibly. Some species disguise themselves with dust or the remains of victims, a camouflage worthy of special ops. Others even hunt ants by mimicking their scent. There's no showy strength here, only precision and cunning. And when it moves, you get the sense that you're not just watching a hunter, but a strategist always one step ahead. A thin, almost geometric body line and a long, needle-like ovipositor, a tool that turns hunting into precise operation. The ichneumon doesn't hunt in the usual way. It calculates the host for its offspring. Detecting vibrations, odors, and environmental structure, it finds larvae hidden deep in wood or soil. Then, a precise puncture. No wasted motion. Egg inside, cycle initiated. Harsh as it sounds, this is one of nature's most elegant population control mechanisms. Many species can listen to a tree, determining exactly where prey hides. Once you grasp the sophistication, it's clear you're witnessing not just an insect, but a finely tuned system. Striking, almost theatrical. Black background with bright patterns, as if dressed for the stage. The harlequin beetle doesn't hide, its colors warm, better not touch. Larvae develop inside wood, slowly consuming it from within, while adults flaunt this bold look. Long antennae add expressiveness, making the beetle almost decorative. But behind the aesthetics lies harsh reality, the battle for resources and survival. Not fast, not aggressive, but its visual signal works better than any attack. Sometimes just looking the part keeps predators away. Not just a mantis, but a predator disguised as a flower with terrifying accuracy. Petal-like protrusions cover its body, colors from white to purple create a plant illusion. But approach too close, and the flower comes alive, a rapid strike mechanism. This species doesn't just wait, it exploits expectation, luring pollinators to snap them up. There's almost theatrical cruelty here, beauty that doesn't adorn, but entices. You can't be sure what's harmless. When it spreads its wings, it feels like you're staring at something much larger. The giant eyes on its wings mimic a predator, making enemies hesitate and retreat. The owl butterfly plays on instinct, flawlessly. Meanwhile, the underside of its wings blends with bark, a sharp contrast between display and disappearance. It flies at twilight when visual deception is most effective. Its flight is heavy, almost lazy, but that reinforces the illusion, as if you're seeing something far more formidable than just a butterfly. And yes, after meeting that gaze, even humans get the strange feeling they're being watched. The redback spider is a close relative of the black widow and one of Australia's most recognizable arachnids. If the black widow looks like a serious warning sign, the redback seems determined to make the message even harder to miss. A bright red-orange stripe runs across its glossy black abdomen, creating a pattern that is instantly recognizable. Females are significantly larger than males and spend most of their lives near their messy but highly effective webs. This species has adapted exceptionally well to living alongside humans and is often found around buildings, sheds, and other sheltered locations. Despite its modest size, the redback is capable of capturing prey much larger than itself. Its web can trap not only insects, but occasionally even small vertebrates. The species is also famous for its unusual courtship behavior, where the male quite literally risks his life for the chance to reproduce. Too bright to be real, the rosy maple moth looks like it stepped out of an artist's palette, pink and yellow blending without midtones. But beneath the delicate exterior lies a nocturnal lifestyle, tied closely to maple trees where its caterpillars develop. It doesn't rely on speed or aggression. Its strategy is invisibility in impossible colors. You watch and feel the contrast. Soft color and harsh laws of nature, where even beauty serves survival. Millions of people have seen the European garden spider, yet it never stops being fascinating. A distinctive pale, cross-shaped marking sits on its abdomen, giving the species its common name. Its coloration can range from yellowish-brown to deep orange, allowing it to blend seamlessly into leaves and shrubs. Each night, this hardworking architect spins a brand new circular web, and by morning, it may dismantle the entire structure and recycle part of the silk. Even by human standards, that's an impressively efficient use of resources. What's especially remarkable is the spider silk itself, which combines strength and flexibility in proportions that continue to intrigue scientists. Despite its relatively small size, the European garden spider plays an important role in controlling insect populations. It's one of those species that reminds us every day that nature's greatest wonders are often only a few steps away. It looks like someone strapped a tiny buffalo helmet onto an insect, complete with angular horns and a bizarre silhouette. But it's not decoration, it's an extension of the body, turned into armor and camouflage. The treehopper looks so unusual that predators hesitate. Before them is something strange, not the usual prey. It lives on plants, pierces tissues, and drinks sap, while actively interacting with ants, paying for protection with sweet secretions. A purely mutualistic alliance. Interestingly, appearances vary radically across species, from spikes to almost fantastical forms. You look at a branch and suddenly realize a thorn is watching you. The thorn bug blends into plants with such precision it's almost invisible. Body elongated, forming a sharp protrusion, it mimics a spine. It moves only when necessary, relying on full environmental integration. Even when threatened, it prefers stillness, trusting its shape. Strategy: disappear completely, not flee or attack. Like a piece of ocean became a creature, the blue dragon drifts on the water, floating belly up, camouflaged with the sky below and the depths above. Its branched appendages look fragile, but inside lies borrowed weaponry. It eats venomous siphonophores, like the Portuguese man-o'-war, storing their stinging cells to boost its own defense. Tiny, almost weightless, yet with a bite that can surprise humans. Drifting with currents, unhurried, in that calm lies hidden power. Beauty is deceptive. Behind delicate form, cold survival logic. Foreign venom, now an advantage. At first glance, it seems to have no wings at all. Just thin edges and clear space through which you see the world. The clear-winged butterfly challenges traditional ideas of pattern. Its strategy is disappearance without hiding. Wing scales are reduced, making the surface almost glass-like, minimizing visibility in flight. Predators look and fail to lock onto the target. Meanwhile, the outline remains sharp, like carefully drawn graphics in the air. Flight is light, efficient, without extra movements. Up close, thin veins are visible, like the frame of an engineered structure. No brightness, but precise calculation. Minimize signal, retain function. Beneath the pond surface hides not just a beetle, but a true underwater predator. The diving beetle is a predator with a streamlined body and hind legs turned into oars, slicing through water with engine-like precision. It breathes air trapped under its elytra, its own personal scuba tank, allowing it to linger in ambush. When prey approaches, the strike is instantaneous. Jaws inject enzymes that turn the catch into a nutritious soup. Even the larvae have a reputation. They're called water tigers for their insatiable appetite. Look at a quiet pond, and you wouldn't guess the silent hunt unfolding beneath the surface. The ground seems to flow, and it's not a metaphor. Nomadic ants move in columns, forming a living force capable of clearing everything in their path. They don't build permanent nests. Their home is the colony itself, a structure of interlinked bodies. Blind but perfectly coordinated, they rely on chemical signals to create an unstoppable flow. Their strength lies in numbers and synchronization. Watching them, you realize intelligence sometimes isn't in an individual, but in a system where every part knows its role without a single word. Folded front legs suggest prayer, but really it's a pause before striking. The mantis is a predator with a reaction speed that's hard to fathom. It can snatch prey faster than a human nerve impulse. Its head rotates, eyes lock on the target, and the body stays motionless until the final moment. Some species can even catch birds and small lizards. And yes, the famous cannibalism is real, a survival strategy. It combines calm and ruthlessness. It doesn't rush because it knows the strike determines everything. This spider accomplished something that once seemed impossible even for the greatest web builders. Darwin's bark spider creates webs capable of spanning entire rivers and streams. Some of its webs stretch tens of feet between opposite banks, forming giant aerial bridges designed to catch flying insects. Even more impressive is the material used to build them. The silk of this species ranks among the strongest biological materials known to science. It can withstand forces that would destroy the webs of many other spiders. The spider itself appears fairly modest compared to its extraordinary achievements. Yet, species like this remind us that nature's greatest engineering marvels are not always created by the largest or most colorful creatures. Its webs resemble ambitious architectural projects built by an animal only a few inches long. The earth beneath its legs comes alive as the digger wasp tunnels with engineer-like precision. But its goal isn't just shelter, it's a carefully prepared chamber for its offspring. It paralyzes prey without killing it, leaving it inside as live food for its larvae. Harsh as it sounds, there's cold survival math at work. Some species remember their nest location with a near-perfect accuracy, using landmarks like a map. Watching them is witnessing instinct turned into a complex, almost intentional system, where no move is wasted. It's as if the forest itself starts moving. Columns of ants march along trails, carrying neat leaf pieces above their heads. They don't eat them directly. They use them to grow fungi, which becomes their food. This isn't just behavior, it's full-blown agriculture, with care, management, and protection of the harvest. Inside the nest is a complex system of chambers, ventilation, and role distribution. Every ant knows its job, and the colony operates as one organism. The scale is staggering, millions of perfectly coordinated individuals. While humans boast of technology, somewhere in the forest, a biological farm has been running, perfected to the smallest detail. Some spiders become legends long before most people ever saw one in person, and the black widow is certainly among them. The female's glossy black body looks almost polished, while the famous red hourglass marking on the underside of her abdomen serves as one of nature's most recognizable warning signs. Despite its fearsome reputation, this spider has no interest in hunting large animals and prefers a quiet life in secluded places, where its sticky web becomes a deadly trap for insects. The difference between the sexes is especially remarkable. Males are so much smaller than females that they almost seem to belong to a different species. The name Black Widow comes from rare cases in which a female may consume her mate after reproduction, although this behavior is far less common than popular culture suggests. Behind the frightening reputation lies a skilled architect and patient hunter that prefers to work quietly and efficiently. When darkness falls, a quiet, almost intimate conversation of light begins. Fireflies don't just glow, they communicate, encoding messages in flashes, each with its own meaning. The cool glow of their bodies comes from a chemical reaction, almost perfectly efficient, a natural lantern. But behind the poetry is pragmatism. It's how they find mates and sometimes deceive. Some species mimic other signals to lure prey. Imagine little sparks flicker in the night, and some of them are traps. At some point, you realize this isn't just nocturnal romance, it's a sophisticated signaling system where each flash can be decisive. Tiny as a fingernail, but full of swagger like a performer on a big stage. The peacock spider turns courtship into a full-blown show. It raises its brightly colored abdomen, fans it open, and starts a dance that leaves any rival with almost no chance. Blue, red, and yellow flashes shimmer like neon graphics brought to life. But all that beauty is risky. The female judges harshly, and a failed performance can be fatal. Nothing is random. Every move is calculated, every vibration precise. A tiny body, yet inside it's a full-blown performance where the stakes are life itself. And yes, after witnessing this, it's hard to look at ordinary spiders without a hint of disappointment. The name misleads. This isn't an ant, but a wingless wasp with contrasting black and white colors, like a tiny panda. Behind the cuteness lies one of the most painful stings among insects. Its body is covered in dense hairs, behavior confident and even bold. Females don't build nests, they invade others, laying eggs so larvae develop at the host's expense. Watching it, you realize that appearance works against logic, turning a cute creature into one that you don't want to touch. You hear a low hum, and the air seems to thicken. Before you stands a giant among stingers, the Japanese hornet. Up to 2 inches long, with amber eyes and jaws capable of tearing prey apart, it's not just a hunter, it's a tactician. These insects can wipe out an entire hive in just a few hours, marking their target with pheromones, almost like leaving a sign of doom. Its venom is a complex cocktail, causing not just pain, but tissue damage. Yet, in this predator, there's cold logic. It doesn't attack without reason. Encounter one, and suddenly fear turns into respect for a perfectly tuned survival machine. Dry sand, a funnel, and you're trapped before you even realize it. The antlion larva is a patient architect, digging a perfect cone and burying itself at the bottom, leaving only jaws exposed. Any careless prey slides down as sands rain from above. The trap essentially pushes the victim toward the center. This is more than hunting. It's a strategy of waiting where the victim's movements work against itself. The adult may resemble a delicate dragonfly, but stripped of its larval ruthlessness. The contrast is almost philosophical. From a merciless sand killer emerges a creature seemingly transformed, less ruthless than its larval stage. The brown recluse spider has neither bright colors, giant proportions, nor dramatic patterns. Yet that is precisely what makes it remarkable. Its appearance is built around the art of remaining unnoticed. A light brown body allows it to blend seamlessly into wood, dry leaves, and old structures. On its cephalothorax, a violin-shaped marking is often visible, earning it the nickname the fiddleback spider. As its name suggests, this species prefers solitude and goes out of its way to avoid encounters with larger creatures. During the day, it hides in dark shelters, emerging only at night to search for prey. Unlike many spiders that rely heavily on webs, the brown recluse often depends on stealth and sudden attacks. Another unusual feature is its 6 eyes, whereas most spiders possess 8. Its lifestyle resembles that of a seasoned scout, drawing as little attention as possible while remaining constantly alert. Some spiders build webs between branches, others spin traps in the grass, but the ogre-faced spider developed a hunting method that seems almost unbelievable. Its enormous eyes occupy much of its head, giving it a permanent look of surprise. Those eyes allow it to see exceptionally well in the dark. Instead of building a traditional web, this nocturnal hunter holds a specially woven net between its front legs and patiently hangs above insect pathways. When prey passes underneath, the spider suddenly throws the net over its victim like an experienced fisherman casting a net into the water. The sight is so unusual that it hardly seems real. Its long, slender body helps it resemble a dry twig, making it nearly invisible to predators. This spider is a true master of nighttime hunting, relying on precision, calculation, and one of the most original strategies in the entire arachnid world. It seems to defy physics. The water strider glides across the surface without sinking a millimeter. Its secret lies in microscopic hairs on its legs that repel water and distribute weight, turning the water into a springy film. It doesn't just move, it reads vibrations like radar, sensing the slightest ripple from prey. A fly lands, and within a split second, the strider is there, piercing its catch and sucking it dry. The irony? For all its lightness, it's a ruthless predator. Watching it glide, you realize how fine the line is between grace and cold efficiency. If someone claims spiders can't live underwater, they've probably never heard of the diving bell spider. It is one of the most extraordinary arachnids on Earth. Unlike nearly all of its relatives, it spends most of its life beneath the surface of freshwater habitats. To accomplish this, the spider constructs a true underwater home from silk and fills it with air bubbles collected from the surface. The result is a remarkable diving bell where it can rest, digest food, and even raise its young. The shimmering layer of air surrounding its body gives it the appearance of a tiny underwater submarine. This predator hunts insect larvae, small crustaceans, and other aquatic creatures. Every trip to the surface for a fresh supply of air showcases engineering skills that seem astonishing even by modern standards. Among spiders, it would be difficult to find a more specialized underwater expert. While many spiders resemble secretive ambush hunters, jumping spiders seem more like curious explorers. Their large forward-facing eyes give them an almost cartoon-like expression that often wins over even people who normally dislike spiders. Behind that charming appearance lies one of the most advanced visual systems in the arthropod world. Jumping spiders can judge distances, distinguish colors, and carefully examine their surroundings. Instead of relying on webs, they use a completely different strategy. Once prey is spotted, the spider slowly stalks its target, calculates the trajectory, and launches an incredibly precise leap. Some species can jump distances many times their own body length. Watching one hunt is like seeing a miniature version of a big cat in action. It studies, waits, and strikes with astonishing accuracy, demonstrating a level of coordination and problem-solving ability rarely expected from such a tiny creature. Construction reaches a new level when ants use their own tools – larvae. Weaver ants pull leaves together, weaving them and gluing them with silk produced by their larvae. The result? Living houses hanging from branches. Not chaotic work. Coordination is astonishing. Some hold leaves, others move larvae, others oversee the process. The end result is a strong structure that withstands wind and rain. Aggression is high, too. They defend their territory without hesitation. Some colonies can span entire trees, turning them into a single living organism. No random decisions, just precise collective logic, where every element works towards the common goal. The marbled orb weaver looks as if someone transformed a spider into an autumn leaf or a polished gemstone. Its large, rounded abdomen is decorated with intricate marbled patterns of orange, yellow, cream, and brown. Every individual has its own unique design, making it nearly impossible to find two that look exactly alike. These spiders are especially beautiful in the fall, when the surrounding landscape takes on the same warm colors. Their circular webs are stretched between bushes and trees, turning ordinary woodland areas into highly effective hunting grounds. During the day, the spider often hides nearby while remaining connected to the center of the web by a single line. The slightest vibration instantly alerts it to the arrival of prey. The appearance of this species is so decorative that it can be hard to believe you're looking at a highly efficient predator perfectly adapted to its environment. At first glance, metallic, jewel-like, green-blue iridescence flawless. But behavior showcases one of nature's most precise control mechanisms. It paralyzes a cockroach by injecting venom into nerve centers, leaving it alive but obedient. A puppet. It guides the roach to a prepared nest. This isn't hunting, it's management. You watch, realizing beauty sometimes hides mechanisms hard to accept without tension. First thing that grabs attention, eyes on long stalks. Not just oddity, but tool, wide field of view, and sexual selection. Females prefer longer stalks, forcing males to balance visibility and vulnerability. You watch, wondering how far evolution can go when selection criteria become extreme. Yet, the fly remains fast and agile, proving even extreme forms can be functional. What if one of the most dangerous animals on Earth could be hiding just a few feet away without you noticing? From deadly hunters to giant serpents that rule rivers and jungles, today's creatures are as fascinating as they are terrifying. Welcome to Flora.